Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? And their opponent, introducing first, representing the Nation of Domination from Miami, Florida, weighing 260 pounds, The Rock. Representing the Nation of Domination from Helmsley, Texas, weighing 418 pounds, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Here we got a match between Edge and Christian and the Nation of Domination. Nation of Domination made up of Big Man, Mark Henry, and The Rock, one of the most entertaining men in sports entertainment history. Edge and Christian been wrestling together for years. Great friends and a great tag team. One of the original members of the triad that made tables, ladders, and chairs famous, with the tag teams of them, the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Brothers. Now, The Rock and Mark Henry fighting very hard here to beat the tag team that they've been put up against now in the semifinal of this Raw's War tournament. They originally had to face the McMahons in the quarterfinals of this tag team tournament, which some would say is not the hardest of matches, but is a still significant match, and you shouldn't discredit the Nation of Domination for getting into the semifinals, which has been very hard for even some of the most veteran of teams, like the team of D-Generation X, who were not able to beat out Edge and Christian, and that's why Edge and Christian are here today, fighting in the semifinals against the Nation of Domination. You have Edge and Rock fighting in here in the middle, exchanging holds, countering each other several times in a row. We see Edge fighting in and close to the enemy corner, not quite the most optimal path, but trying to make it work for him. as Rock is staying near to his corner. And a tilt-a-whirl DDT, as we see from the Rock here, grabbing the head of Edge once again. Edge able to counter, and Rock able to counter once again into another headlock. And we see a whip by Edge hitting his shoulder into the upper back and shoulders of the Rock. Huge hit by the Rock to the front of the face, and we have an abdominal stretch here. Submission maneuver coming in from the Rock. Somewhat surprised that Christian has not tried to come in and break up the hold for his tag partner, but he knows Edge can hold up to an abdominal stretch this early in the match. It hasn't been that long. He isn't weak yet. Throwing Rock into the corner, and now that veteran tag team working together to make a big boot to the gut of the Rock, as Christian now entering into the ring, fighting against the superstar of the Rock. Now the winner of this match will have to go on and face the winner of our match later tonight between the Corporation and Kane and Bradshaw. Kane and Bradshaw, a team made up from a very interesting situation that took place over Raw and SmackDown earlier this week, in which the teams of Acolytes and the Brothers of Destruction have been broken up. And now we have the team of Kane and Bradshaw continuing on into the tag team tournament. They were able to make their way into the semifinals here against the Corporation. Rock with a big counter to that boot from Christian, to a big clothesline, running into a tilt-a-whirl DDT once again. Walking over to Mark Henry, perhaps going for a tag here. No, actually going over the top rope. Coming out to the announce table, clearing the ring. We've seen a lot of tables being used in these tag team tournament matchups, trying to eliminate one member of the tag team, trying to focus on one, as Christian uses the distraction by running in and out of the ring to tackle Mark Henry out onto the barricade from the apron there. The Rock trying to put some aggression against Christian, looking a little dizzy but countering and putting a big elbow into the face of Christian. Christian with a big uppercut to the face, grinding the face of Rock. Rock getting whipped into the enemy corner here. Perhaps another tag team maneuver here. Yes, Edge and Christian going to work together here to a sidewalk slam / reverse DDT from Christian and Edge. Edge trying to hurt the arm of the Rock, trying to perhaps weaken that rock bottom maneuver that he uses, or perhaps weaken the people's elbow, make it hurt him as it does his opponent if he has an injured arm. Edge, great competitor, tossing Rock, using his momentum against him, trying to injure the legs now, smashing that knee of the Rock against the mat. Now Rock fighting in the enemy corner. Once again, another most optimal path to a victory, but it's going to try and drag him out of that corner. But Edge able to counter that hold by the Rock, walking over to... Oh my god! He tried to make a huge leg drop there, but I don't think he got all of it. I think he may have got the foot into the face of the Rock, but a lot of his force going down into his own bottom and lower back, landing there. Rock able to reverse DDT, I believe. Actually slamming the head against his knee, I believe. Didn't get a full picture of that, as we see Mark Henry getting tagged in, as well as Christian now. I believe this might be Mark Henry's first time into the ring here, and these two small competitors in Edge and Christian might have a hard time fully manhandling Mark Henry as much as they do the Rock here, and that's why they target the feet, the legs of the big man Mark Henry. Take him off that base, and you'll be able to chop him down to your own size and work on him that way with strikes more than lifts and bombs. Mark Henry with several strikes to the head to Christian. Christian getting up and able to counter that aggression to a swinging neckbreaker. Fighting in his own corner. Going to perhaps try and use the tag team mentality, but actually whipping the Rock. Mark Henry into the Rock's corner. Mark Henry countering out of that corner to a big check coming out of that corner just smashing Christian into the ground. Edge helping out his teammate here a little bit. Just a quick punch that will distract Mark Henry enough for Christian to get in and swing neckbreaker. Mark Henry getting whipped into his enemy team's corner as Edge and Christian go for another tag team maneuver here. A big flapjack, only using the power of the teamwork to lift this huge man off of his feet and slam him face first into the mat. Now he's getting whipped into the neutral corner here by Edge, able to counter out of that corner. Not quite getting all of that clothesline from behind. Edge able to duck out from underneath it. And a big drop kick from Edge using athleticism to make up for the strength lacking to fight this large man in Mark Henry. Mark Henry has been in the ring for a long time now. Edge and Christian have been making frequent tags, a staple of big tag teams, and another huge tag team maneuver lifting Mark Henry off of his feet. The Rock and Mark Henry have been fighting almost as if they're in two handicap matches, switching off when they're too tired. But Edge and Christian, knowing how tag team matches work more so, trying to make frequent tags, trying to keep the man as fresh as possible, not getting too injured or too winded, having to fight two people at once. Another quick tag here by Christian to get Edge into the ring. Mark Henry not even attempting to make a tag yet, feeling he still has enough energy to make a decent showing against Edge and Christian, as they've been continuously tagging and keeping each other fresh. A giant suplex by Edge here. You would not expect that, but Edge would be able to suplex the large man Mark Henry. He actually held him up for such time and got such a vertical curve on Mark Henry. Getting out of there. Now tossing Mark Henry into his corner. Mark Henry able to counter, not get a double team maneuver happening here. Mark Henry able to pull Edge up onto the top rope. Perhaps looking for a superplex here from the top rope. Mark Henry going up to the top rope. Large men don't go to the top rope, but a huge superplex by Mark Henry here. Edge able to counter, tripping the legs of Mark Henry. Able to counter that huge move that Mark Henry did. But he's got to have a lot of impact damage from that giant superplex. Huge move by Edge, smashing the face of Mark Henry into the mat, only getting one count for it though. Tilt-a-whirl DDT, planting the face and head of Mark Henry into the mat. Christian calling for a tag here. Mark Henry, after those couple moves, is not even looking for a huge move. Mark Henry is too big for that move, Christian. You're not going to be able to do a suplex maneuver like that. Mark Henry just countering and doing a power move of his own. Christian going up to the top rope with a big elbow to the face and upper body of Mark Henry and grabbing at the arms, doing a stretch maneuver, stretching Mark Henry, trying to get a submission win here. But Mark Henry able to counter out of it, power his way out of that maneuver. Christian now holding his head, actually injured now, been spending too much time in the ring, even though he's been coming in and out, I guess. Not quite, it's very hard to tell how much time they spend in the ring individually as they keep switching in and out. Huge elbow by The Rock, a very fresh man now, fighting against the now wounded Christian. Christian is going to want to tag his tag team member Edge into the situation here, or else they might lose, getting whipped hard out on the outside, near the strip table. Now, Christian whipping Mark Henry into the steel pole, and Christian whipping The Rock into the barricade. Now, all four members are fighting on the outside. Chaos has ensued here, as The Rock puts Christian onto the table. What is he gonna do to put him through this table here? Is Christian gonna be able to counter here? The big rock bottom by The Rock into the table. Christian has gotta be knocked out now. And Rock can actually just stand here, stand in the ring, let Edge and Christian get counted out. Edge not even going to help his tag team partner here. This is most certainly gotta be knocked out, but no, Christian actually getting up at an 8 count, able to get in. Mark Henry grabbing Christian, tossing him into his own corner. The Rock admiring his handiwork, being a big clothesline into Christian here, dragging him into the middle of the match. Surely Christian is just knocked out. And he's gonna be out for the count here. 1. No. Christian has got some fight left in him, apparently. And now going for a sharpshooter. Christian looking for a submission maneuver on The Rock. The Rock able to counter using the strength of his legs to counter here. And now The Rock looking for a huge maneuver here. A big finisher. Another rock bottom. This time in the middle of the ring. He's going to be able to pin him. Mark Henry has got to get out of the ring before the ref counts him out. Here. Christian. 1, 2, 3. The Rock and Mark Henry. Nation of Domination able to win and go on to the finals of the tag team tournament.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?